Ladies and gentlemen, yet another trailer has been released for The Walking Dead Destinies, and it looks better than we expected. I'm going to go over the trailer like normal, and also address some comments that you put into the first video to help thin the narrative on whether or not this game will be worth the money or something you should avoid altogether. Like normal, there will be spoilers ahead, so watch at your own risk. With that being said, let's get straight into the new trailer.
Nobody has to die. Everyone who's alive, right now. Everyone who's made it this far.
We're off to a strong start here, showing everyone Carl dying this early on in the game, mainly because I guess it's not really something that people really expect to see. Not just that, it's a really cool concept of the idea that Carl dies after being shot by Otis, and I guess it's just something that we can all agree on is quite cool.
We've all done the worst kinds of things just to stay alive. We were brothers! It doesn't have to be this way! I don't even recognize you anymore! No! We're not too far gone. I know. We all.
So again, with the same concept here, seeing Shane in the prison instead of Rick is a really fascinating concept, mainly because I guess not many people think about the actual idea of what comes after Shane lives, and so seeing him this far along in the story is just something that really makes me excited for the game.
Shane, you have to help us. What do we do?
I'm not saying it's gonna be easy,
Rick?
but I don't think we have a choice.
How's about a hug for your old pal T-Dog?
No, I'll refrain from talking about this too much, mainly because there is another trailer actually explaining T-Dog and Mel's story at the beginning of the game. When I say that, I mean it's a really cool concept trailer released by IGN within the past 24 hours of how fascinating and cool that this may turn out for us. Now, I don't know about you guys, but that trailer got me really hyped up for the game. However, there is a bit of a surprise involved here, and that's the fact that for the past week, IGN have been releasing trailers for the game left, right and centre. By trailers, I mean the more concept arts for the game, however, some of them I do hope are implemented, mainly because of how cool and fascinating they look for the actual audience. Let's get started straight away with the new Shane trailer that's been released in the past 24 hours. So, I'm actually going to show you guys the trailer, mainly because it put me in a massive amount of shock, and this voiceover is actually recorded post me watching it. However, I did manage to capture the blind reaction to the concept itself.
You got a lot of time to ponder. Did it all have to go down the way it did? What would have happened if folks chose differently?
Now, I just want to get it out there, Daryl Dixon is the actual face of a lot of the concept trailers released by IGN. Whether or not it's because he's a lone wanderer and sort of the narrative for the actual game itself, either way I think it's a really cool nod to the fact that he's voiced the actual Walking Dead game back in 2011.
This apocalypse, it has a way of making people go crazy.
Well, you can rest assured, Herschel, that ain't gonna happen with me.
Don't know about you guys, but this trailer feels very, very similar to The Shining back in 1980, and whether or not it's they're trying to portray Shane as going crazy, it's a really fascinating concept and really, really cool.
In a world of chaos,
You just gonna leave the lights on like that?
one man is about to be pushed beyond his limits.
Hey, pal. What you doing there? All mercy and no wrath. Wouldn't want Shane to become a dull boy, would you, Rick?
I don't care, that was definitely a nod to the fact that Shane can kill Rick with an axe at any given point, and the idea that Shane goes crazy, exactly like in the movie The Shining, is so cool, especially in comparison to the rest of the trailers we've seen so far. And I understand this might just be a concept, but either way, it's so brilliant how they portray it to the audience.
Hello, Shane. Want to come play forever and ever?
So my thought process here as well is that girl looks far too young to be Beth, so I have a strange feeling it's Sophia, and Carl also died from the shot by Otis, and so because of this, Shane's going crazy with the idea that he let them both die, near enough the same way.
I'm gonna kill you. Not today, not tomorrow, but I'm gonna kill you.
I just really want to get it out there as well. This isn't a Halloween special concept. At the time of recording, it's the 8th of November, and not just that, it was released 17 hours ago. But this is definitely a hint to The Shining, and I really hope we can portray this in the game.
The Walking Dead, Destinies.
Holy shit, what the fuck? Sorry guys, that was a blind reaction. Holy shit. Now, I don't know about you guys, but seeing that trailer is really cool. Especially considering the actual concept they went with, which is The Shining. It's a brilliant idea and brilliant placement, especially for the theme of the game itself, and the idea that Shane, in the show, definitely went a little bit crazy towards the end, but the fact he can do it in the game as well, but over the top, is brilliant execution. There is one last trailer that I want to kind of show you guys, mainly just because of how bizarre it is, and it's something that really caught me off guard because it's definitely not mentioned in the show, and I'm not sure if it will be put into the game, but it's something cool to look at and explain the character of Merle a little bit more.
Out here in the woods, you got a lot of time to think about things. Friends, family, what could have been. Makes you wonder where we'd be if things played out differently.
Come back! You can't just leave me here.
Even for a zombie apocalypse,
Come on!
Merle Dixon was having a bad day.
What? Who's there? Anyone there?
Looks like you could use a hand, mister.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, I really could, sweetheart. Oh. Hey.
Either way, if this isn't put into the game, the voice actor for Merle is really on point and sounds a lot like Michael Rooker. I will need to double check if it is him because he sounds excellent. Not just this, but let's get to the main point here. I understand that he has heat stroke and on a roof for I'm not even sure how long, but the fact that he's hallucinated a little girl freeing him is just bizarre. And I understand if this isn't even put into the game, but either way.
This summer comes a story about one man's journey.
And the lesson is, you gotta get him right in the brain if you're gonna live to fight another day.
From outcast
It's you, Mr. Dixon!
to educator.
These here popsicles is ice cold, kiddos. Heat up.
Because the only thing scarier than the undead
You're the best, Mr. Dixon!
is keeping 6-year-olds occupied.
Now, I'm not sure about you guys, and I'm not sure if you've seen Rick and Morty. This feels like something you'd see on interdimensional cable TV. It just feels really uncanny, and something that would probably happen if it played out the way in the TV show that it does here. But either way, it's just bizarre to me.
Wait, what's that?
It might be a walker.
Stay back, kids. It's time for Mr. Dixon to teach a lesson.
Is he okay? Thanks for saving us, Mr. Dixon.
No, thanks for saving me.
We love you, Mr. Dixon!
Even if that is just a concept trailer, that is really bizarre to see Mel's character in charge of children, and the idea that the children save him in this concept as well is really cool. Now, I really hope these IGN trailers aren't just kind of concepts, because some of these I'd like to see in-game, but naturally it depends on the developers and what they decide to put into the game and how much effort they apply to it. Either way, really cool concepts, and I'm glad I showed you guys them. I do really want to mention some of the comments you guys left on the first Walking Dead Destinies video, because they do address a lot of issues and a lot of queries that fans have with the game itself, and I'm just going to try and kind of dilute them down other than the comments I've already replied to you guys with. So here are some of the top ones that I've kind of seen. Let's get straight into it with the actual graphics of the game itself. A lot of the comments on the original video suggested that the graphics were more towards a PS3 or an Xbox 360, and to be honest, I agree with you guys, and I couldn't agree more. The graphics kind of resemble, to me anyway, the State of Decay games, and I guess it's just because it's a zombie game and they didn't want to go over the top on realism. However, I really do hope that the fact that they've lacklustered the graphics, they've improved more on the content of the game itself. Steve Goodwin 4914 actually mentioned in the comment section about how the past Walking Dead games have been rubbish, and the choices that they'd like to see in the game. These include kill Rick, Shane, or keep them both alive, keep T-Dog and Sophia alive, and prevent the prison downfall. From the concept trailers that we've seen today, the amount of effort they've put into designing the game's choice system itself, I think personally we will get to have those choices in the game. Not just that, the best Walking Dead game previously is The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, and I think that it's quite a good game choice-wise and how they developed the game. Lastly, is from my favourite comment, and it's from Coral. And I couldn't agree more, Laurie and Shane need to be ran straight into a horde. However, I'd also like to see the choices that they develop from being in the game longer than they were in the show. With that being said guys, thank you all for watching the video and I hope you really enjoyed it. Do leave more comments below because I will be reading into them in the future. Not just that, don't forget to like and subscribe so I post more content like this. I hope you all had a good time and thank you all for watching.